My next guest is going to be fighting for UFC gold next Saturday at UFC 296. It is Brandon Royval back here on the program. Brandon, how are you, man?
Good, and yourself?
Doing great. I realized I was interrupting your, breakfast? You were having eggs. Tell me what you were eating. What do you eat when you have a title fight about a week away?
I'm making eggs, some avocado toast. So,
nice.
Yeah, I was in the middle of making it. So that was my bad. I just lost track of time.
Like, does the diet, I'm sure, changes closer to fight time, right? Because you're cutting all the weight.
Yeah. It'll turn into like fats and no carbs the week of the fight. But as of right now, it's all the same. It's the same diet as the last like 2 months or month or whatever it has been.
That's great. How did camp go? I mean, we're pretty much at that point where everything is, all the hard work's put in. The bulls are in the barn, so to speak. How did camp go this time around?
It was fun, man. I had a lot of fun this camp. Some different stuff, not too much, but just a lot of fun, honestly. Getting ready for 5 rounds is always kind of like a cool experience, I'd say.
Do you feel like the team really rallied around you because this is a title fight? And like, did you feel like everyone was kind of coming out of the woodwork to give you any help you need to bring that belt back to Factory X?
Absolutely, man. I gotta have a lot of dictate. Like, I gotta dictate exactly how this camp goes for myself, and have like kind of like maybe a little bit of an ordinary camp. I was having multiple people per round. Like, I would say if I'm getting ready for a 5-round fight, I have 6 rounds in a row, 7 rounds in a row. I would have 2 people jump in on me. So I would have one person, I would be standing with one person, striking with them, and that's a really good look for Pantoja. Then I'd have someone jump on my back, and then that was also a good look for Pantoja, like a jiu-jitsu, or like someone that's really good on the back. So it was pretty cool in that situation where I was just doubling up on a lot of things, and getting a lot of fresh partners. And that's exactly kind of how I wanted to get ready for it, is just, a very specific Pantoja look all around, and then not ignore that what he's really good at, which is funneling to the back, getting the back, and controlling from the back. So I have a lot of good training partners, good jiu-jitsu guys that I work with, that I was able to just kind of get in and get on my back and kind of have situations like that. So it was awesome.
I kind of feel like this fight is kind of flying under the radar a little bit, not because it's not a good fight, but because there's so many other names on this card. Do you like that, or you wish that there was a little bit more attention on your fight?
I kind of thought it was funny too, because I was super grateful to be a part of like the commercial and all that stuff and like all that. But it's like 1:15 at Colby and fucking Leon Edwards, and then 15 seconds of me and Pantoja. I just feel like that's just a flyweight away, is we always kind of get like dealt a little bit of like the shorter stick. Obviously Pantoja and I aren't really we don't really, like, I'm not going to probably trash talk Pantoja ever. Like, I'm a huge fan of him, if anything, so it's hard it's hard to think of like mean things to say on him.
Well, and that just wouldn't be you anyways. I mean, you're not really like that. At least I don't remember you having an opponent where you had to talk any trash or anything.
Yeah, and I've never been opposed to drama or anything like that. But that being said, I don't look for it, or like, if I'm going against someone respectful, I'm not going to go out of character at all.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I'm a fighter at heart. Like, I grew up in a very talking shit and fighting environment, and that's always kind of been a part of like the culture I was brought up in, and of a little bit of who I am. So I've never shied away from any of that stuff. But it's like, I'm not going to go talk shit to someone who's not going to talk shit on me, or who's nothing but respectful not looking to do that. So I would never be the one to engage in that. I've always been like, if you start shit, start no stuff ain't gonna be no stuff, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So.
No, completely agree with that. One of the things that has been kind of getting in the headlines, this is all this Garry stuff. Are you seeing this on social media, or are you so buried in camp right now you don't even know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I have seen a lot of that stuff on social media. I wonder how he's going to handle all that. I feel like Garry's a welterweight, right? There's a lot of welterweight.
Yeah, and he's fighting his former teammate, right, Luke? So.
Yeah, there's a lot of welterweight fighters in there. I've seen a lot of stuff, and it's like I've seen a lot of things about like specifically Garry, and it's like, that kid's super talented. I'm Neil Magny's I wouldn't say near dear friend of mine, but definitely someone I've looked up to in the sport, and he's in Colorado and doing all that stuff. So I felt like he disrespected him, and I didn't like that at all. The things he does outside of the cage, I don't like necessarily. So I'm not, but what he does in the cage is magical. He does some great things. He's a super talented fighter, and I like watching him fight. I wish he wasn't trying to portray a character that I think he's trying to, but whatever that is,
Did you hear about? I don't know if you heard the latest with Magny because I interviewed him last week. But like apparently, like because he's going through a separation with his wife. Like those comments and stuff about the child abuse and everything like that Garry kind of heightened. They like actually looked into that, so he might have lost custody of his child because of all that.
Yeah, he has two twin kids, man. That's it's a messed up situation. It's a messed up situation. It's messed up that someone to bring in something, and it was like off of nothing comment, and
like Neil's not known for that. I think that's the big thing that was kind of off-putting. Like I could see if Neil had a history of being like this bad guy, but he's not. He made a bad analogy that I think Ian took advantage 100%. Of and made him into like this bad guy.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm not saying like karma's coming tenfold because I don't believe karma's fitting Neil Magny in the sense, but like Ian Garry, for the things he's been doing, the ridiculous things he's been doing outside the cage, I mean, there's going to be repercussions for that, for what he's been saying. He definitely went around the round. He's on the card with the wrong people for sure, because a lot of those dudes are 170 or close to that, and I'm sure he's not gonna someone's not gonna not say anything to him. So I don't know, but like once again, it's just if we're talking about what he did against Neil Magny, I don't like that at all, because I know Neil Magny and I know he's a good guy, and he's one of those people that not only do I have a lot of love and respect for, but I also just know a lot of good that he's done around there, and it's like it's just one of those things I hate to see him go through any kind of controversy in that sense or be brought into a bad light.
Yeah, completely agree with that. Let's switch gears a little bit. Your teammate, Chris Gutierrez, at the time of recording, is going to be fighting in a main event. Like, how cool is it for you guys? I think I asked Jonathan Martinez about this. Like, I remember you guys all kind of started out around the same time, or at least like, it feels that way, at least from the time I've been interviewing you guys. But you got Jonathan Martinez off his big win in his last fight. You got Gutierrez stepping into this main event on Saturday. And then you got your title fight. Like, what's that like at the gym right now as someone who's been kind of a veteran at Factory X?
It's amazing, man. Getting ready and just seeing like Chris Gutierrez like in the UFC commercials, and then see him like on these little like posters and all that stuff's been so cool. And even for myself, like seeing myself on some of these things has been so cool. But like being on the rise with some of these guys is like I genuinely don't think I would be where I'm at without having the best 35ers around me, and that's including Youssef Zalal. Youssef Zalal is probably better than all of us. Is just that he's not getting his opportunity yet. And
you got a raw deal in the UFC too. I mean, he had to fight Topuria, which now that doesn't look like such a bad loss to have on the resume.
I know, right? And he won a round against him for sure. He fucking wobbled him like, I was cornering for that fight. But that being said, is that kid's super talented, and I can't wait to see when he gets back to the UFC and he gets put in the bantamweight division. He's gonna take that division by storm quick, and I can't wait to watch it. I really can't. But that being said, I'm surrounded by the best 35ers in the world, and going against them every day, getting kicked by Chris Gutierrez and Jonathan, going against Youssef Zalal, all these guys. And it's like Isaac Dalgarian getting wrestled by that guy. Holy shit. These flyweights are nothing compared to that. I genuinely believe that. So not only seeing what they're doing in the cage is amazing, watching Jonathan beat Cub Swanson easily, watching Jonathan beat Yanez, watching these dudes beat some of our heroes, watching Frankie Edgar get knocked out by Chris Gutierrez, like these are really big moments, inspiring moments, and it's like we're all growing together, we're all pushing each other, and it's just great to be a part of this team right now.
Just quickly, how did Chris look in camp on this short notice fight? He's a pretty big underdog, but he's been on quite the the roll as of late in the bantamweight division, minus the Pedro Munoz fight, but outside that, he's looked great.
Yeah, he's looking amazing, man. He's putting in all the work. He's putting extra work in, and it's really cool to watch him and what he's been doing, and just taking this fight super seriously. The moment this got announced, I could tell he was a little nervous about taking on short notice, and then it turned to excitement, and then the preparation has been great ever since. So it's gonna be really cool to watch how he does and watch him do work and all that stuff too. Not to mention, Anthony Smith is on that card.
That's right, of course. Yeah, it's a factory. You guys are busy group these last couple of weeks for sure, right? So.
Yeah. So what's really cool too, man, is watching Cody Brundage win. That kid is super talented, and I want the world to. You want the world to see some of these guys like Youssef Zalal, Cody Brundage. You want them to see what these kids are capable of, because you see what they're capable of, and it's like one of those like watching him win was. And watching him bonus and watching everybody talk shit about him shut the fuck up, because he's not only is he a great fighter, but that kid is an amazing person. He's an amazing dad, an amazing husband, and it's like one of those like men that you're happy to be around because it makes you want to be a better man, you know. And watching him win was inspiring.
Well, I'm gonna have to tell him you said that. I'm interviewing right
Oh
after
no,
this.
keep that between us.
No, for sure. No, you're right. I don't want his head to get too big.
Let him think. Let him know that I think he's an asshole or something.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. No, it's all good. Quickly, back to your fight. How's this one playing out next Saturday? How do you see it going down with you and Pantoja in the rematch?
I feel like it's gonna be a whole different fight from the first time. I feel like I've matured. I've gained new weapons, new like strategies, and I feel like that's the more important thing. Is like I actually have a strategy, and I actually have a game plan. I actually have something to kind of, you know, I have a lot of answers to what he brings to the table, and it's like I'm expecting the best Pantoja there is, but that being said, is I feel like he's gonna have a lot of the same habits as he's been having, and I can capitalize all over that, especially if he hasn't grown as much.
I want to ask a couple rapid fire questions. These are like fun questions that I've been asking all the fighters. So just say whatever comes to mind first, and you can't pick yourself. Who is the best striker in the UFC?
The best, Adesanya.
Who is the best grappler in the UFC?
Not Khabib. What's the other? What's Khabib?
Islam.
Islam, yeah.
Okay, who's the funniest fighter?
The funniest fighter? Damn, I don't know. That's a good.
Well, I'll give you
Jonathan Martinez. I'll give it Jonathan Martinez as like an underdog.
Yeah, he's like a low key funny guy. I've seen him too. You could have dinner with one fighter. Who would it be and why?
Who would it be? That's a good question. Can I go past fighters?
Yep.
Nick Diaz. And
there we go.
He's just the dopest.
Who would you want by your side in a street fight?
The Diaz brothers, actually.
Who has the highest fight IQ?
The highest fight IQ? Corey Sandhagen. Oh, I love the way Corey Sandhagen fights, and just watching his breakdowns recently has been dope.
Very, very good answer. And last one, what is a dream fight you would like to see in the UFC?
Ooh, I would like to see Corey Sandhagen and Sean O'Malley.
Love it. That's great. Before we go, what are your plans for the holidays? I know the focus is on 296, so anyone watching this, don't think that, oh, he's not focused, he's thinking about the holidays. But do you have anything planned with the family? You got anything going on?
Honestly, what I want to do more than anything is I want to go skate on a pond before the like around Christmas time or like after this fight. I want to go on a mountain sometime because I've never been skiing or snowboarding, and I want to go play some like.
Hold up a second. You've never been skiing or snowboarding, and you live in Colorado?
And it's snowing right now, or it's like, you know, it's not snowing right now at this time, but it's like there's snow on the ground, and it's like. This is
shocking. This is probably one of the most crazy things I've ever heard you. Like, I just assumed that everyone in Colorado goes skiing.
No, I grew up in the city, so it's like I've never been around that. No one in my family's ever been skiing or snowboarding, so it's just like I definitely want to make that something I do after this fight. It's like if everything goes well, I'm healed, all that other stuff is. I want to be on a mountain for the first time in my life and learn how to snowboard or ski or something like that. And I want to play some pond hockey.
Oh, well, come to the Canadian here. I know a thing or two. I got my kid. He's doing his first year of ice hockey. He's loving it. He scored his first goal the other night. It's great. So he's all about it. So, hey, are you watching the Avs at all? I know I ask you this every interview, but they're playing well.
No, I haven't, man. I really haven't. I need to just take some time and catch up on all that.
Just watch the highlights. You know.
Hopefully, I win a belt and they let me like do like a half.
That's got to get worked out. Go get Jason House on the phone, and they got to make that happen. You go into the game and with all that, you know, at one of the games, right? So
100%. I've been trying to get all over something like that, so that'd be a good opportunity to do it. Just win this belt. That's actually what the only really motivation I have for winning this title fight is to go shoot a half court shot for the Nuggets, and then do something with the Avs.
Well, you'd have to shoot a shot from center ice at the empty goal.
Yeah,
it's harder than it looks.
That's easy work. I could definitely get that done.
You know what? It's harder than you think, because if you're at center ice, you have to hit it precisely. Like, you have to hit it a certain way so it goes straight. Honestly, like, as someone who plays hockey, I know that you think that it's an easy shot to make, but it's actually not, because you have to hit it with the right power, unless you got like a really good shot. But
I got a great shot, bro. I'm clapping that.
Wow. Okay. Well, one of these days, yeah.
I'm soft.
We'll have to see that on display. Hey, Brandon, we went way over time. Thank you so much for the time, as always. Anyone you want to thank? I know you got a few sponsors before we get out of here.
I want to thank you, as always, and just fucking thank you for your support always, and let's go win a belt. Next time I talk to you, I'll have a belt wrapped around me or something.